about the National Assembly of Nigeria, maybe I should compare it a little bit with what you have said about the Kenyan National Assembly and the Senate. The Senate in the Federal Republic of Nigeria has a membership of 109. This is on the basis of equality of states. There are states that have very high population, and there are others, as we respect, that have very low population. But the equality of states bestows that so-called equality, restricting every state, whether with a big population or less, to 3 senators. Only the Federal Capital Territory, the FCT, where we are, has 1 senator. And I know they are agitating. So we have 109, and the President of the Senate is elected by his colleagues to preside over the affairs of the Senate. And of course, the Deputy President of the Senate is equally elected by the super senators. The Senate here, I think, has more powers than that of Kenya, from what you've said, because the presiding officer, the Senate President, is also the chairman of the National Assembly. And in the chronology of leadership in Nigeria, the Senate President is number 3 after the President and Vice President. This is an arrangement that I think was borrowed from the US, but was also modified. And I think this is how it should be. We should be fine-tuning our processes, because we can never be Americans. We are Nigerians, we are Africans. In the US, the Senate President is the Vice President. The Vice President presides over the sittings of the Senate. But of course, where he's not available, they select someone amongst the senators to preside. And in the US hierarchy of leadership, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, I think, is the number 3. So we have not adopted everything from the US. We modified certain things to suit our purpose here. Your Excellency, the challenges in Africa can only be solved by Africans themselves. I dare say that if you provide a market for someone, he produces his goods and wares, and all you do is to buy, I think he would be foolish to teach you how to produce those kind of goods that you buy from him when produced. So it's for us, Africans, especially those of us that are opportune and privileged to hold leadership positions, to continue to work for our continent, to achieve the kind of democracy that suits our people, our culture. It's not possible that what has been applied somewhere and succeeded, maybe in a European country, that if you bring it to an African country and take it, hook, line, and sinker, it will solve your problem. It may never do so. So we have to be talking amongst ourselves in the African leadership. Election periods are normally periods that are described and uncertain, especially in developing countries and in Africa in particular. Many things are suspended, everybody will tell you, until after the elections are over. Even if there are deals that would have to do with economy, political things, everybody will say after elections. Why? Because people fear that elections will bring violence and so much uncertainty. I think we need to continuously work to ensure that our elections are peaceful, that they are credible, that the integrity test that we need to pose our elections should give us every hope and give our people every hope that their votes count. I think with more certainties around our election periods, people will see election periods as those normal activities that you can just go and vote and continue the activities. But we have to work hard to ensure that people don't see election periods as periods of violence. I want to commend you and congratulate you for working to ensure the Kenyan democracy is stable and peaceful. I must commend you for the stand you took in the recent elections outcomes in Kenya. You are an African patriot and you are an African Democrat and a leader. Let me also mention here that for us in Nigeria, the 2023 general elections will be the 7th consecutive elections that will be held. And this will be the longest time ever that Nigerian democracy will enjoy elections, changing of leadership. In fact, we even changed a government, a party that was in power for 16 years. And this is, for us, not only good for Nigeria, but indeed very good for Africa and indeed the world, because this say democracy has come to stay in Nigeria. People will continue to decide their leaders. I'm talking about people deciding for their leaders. 2022, the National Assembly, this current assembly, passed the Electoral Act Amendment, which Mr. President signed. And we introduced so many innovations. We gave INEC so much powers for it to introduce technology in the elections, so that we reduce subjectivity, we reduce possibilities of rigging and some unwholesome attitudes of either politicians themselves or their agents. And we believe that the 2023 general elections will have the best and the highest quality of election processes than the previous ones. Our hope is that the outcome will be the reflection of the will of Nigerians. And it is my opinion that because of the involvement of more technologies like the beavers, the bimodal accreditation, this will reduce the number of incidents where people will do either multiple voting, because the beavers will eliminate anyone who has not been accredited at the time of elections. So once again, Your Excellency, on behalf of all my colleagues in the Senate and indeed the National Assembly, I welcome you to the Senate wing of the National Assembly, you and your team, and I wish you a very happy, very successful time in Nigeria, and for our compatriot there, the leadership, the man represented